Cable broadcasting will be discontinued for an indefinite period.
Do you want to play? Do you want to play now?
For me, that's what I think great fisting should be. I can't talk, I can't speak, I'm just a holster.
Let's get hot, keep it spicy in the bed. Take my body, make it dance.
Do you want to play? Do you want to play now? Welcome to Such Fun, a podcast devoted to the discussion, education, and celebration of all things fisting. My name is Jasmine Taz. I'm joined once again, of course, by my wonderful colleague,
Hi.
Big Butt Geek.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, we've got a lovely guest this week to basically answer for the crimes of the muscle gays, because they're a menace and must be stopped. So we generally couldn't think of anyone better. So he's a pornographer, a tattoo artist, a clothing entrepreneur, and general menace to the community. Teddy BRYCE.
Hey, hello.
Thank
really,
you. Thank you for coming.
Really happy to be here. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Dogs. So what's up with these muscle gays? No.
I mean,
Ask a more succinct question.
you can.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, we're not going to go into the intricacies of muscle for muscle in the gay community.
No, let's.
No, we can. Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that.
What I think is really interesting is I think this has very much infiltrated kink and the fisting community. I think,
Yeah, I think so. I think that impossible beauty standards are just inescapable at this point. And I also think that as bodybuilding becomes more popular and more mainstream, of course it's going to like seep into, niche kinks that were safe from that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that gay men are really shallow. Just as a baseline, like, we don't really have a legacy other than our own vanity. We don't have kids. We don't, we have dogs, but that's not like
not
your
much of a legacy.
lineage, whatever. So, I think that we put a lot of emphasis on looks and a lot of emphasis on our bodies. And, unfortunately, a symptom of that is men who only exclusively play with other men that look like them or go to the gym all the time or, whatever.
Do you think that comes from a place of non-self-acceptance?
Yeah, I think it's huge insecurity. I think most gay men go to the gym as a form of therapy, right? A lot of us were bullied, right? A lot of us have tons of trauma from our past and our families and growing up. And I know that for myself, I've always felt weak and I've always felt little and I've always felt skinny. And I never felt like I could really defend myself. And living in the closet in a rural town in Northern California where, it's very conservative and lots of rednecks and just kind of scary for a little gay boy. Growing up and then getting out of that small town, I wanted to feel big. I wanted to feel like I could take up some space and defend myself a bit, And then you also see other super big gay men in porn or just, on the streets of San Francisco. And it just sort of feeds into this, I will only be worthy or accepted if I look a certain way. It's just kind of constant, I feel like, for gay men.
I think I fully appreciate, with people that go to the gym, we're all trying to improve ourselves in multiple ways. So I completely understand, that personal growth journey that so many of us are on. Where do you think it comes from where then it's like, well, that's what I'm looking for in other people as well? A very particular aesthetic. Because to me, it's like, we all love a beautiful, well-defined body. I guess it's just what we've been drip-fed for a long time. I do just find it wild when it's like, I'm exclusively into that. That's a bit like, okay, It's like, what are you into? Like Marvel movies and pizza. Like, got same, but like, are we mixing it up a bit? Are we, let's taste the rainbow a little.
No,
here,
I completely agree, and I've been into kink for a really long time. Since I was like in my early 20s, I was already like getting fisted and doing BDSM porn and stuff, and so I guess I've always been more interested in like the sex part of it than like the specific body part of it. I've never put the same pressure on my sex partners that I put on myself. It's like you're always nicer to your friends than you are to yourself. That's how I feel. I don't know if I can really speak to that question really, because I would rather fuck someone with an average body who's really great at sex and really fun to hang out with than someone who has an insane body, A plus gay, that isn't really that fun to be around and is not that good at sex or doesn't like the kinks that I'm into. Like that doesn't interest me at all.
Yeah. I have this thought a lot. Is it about, so then, like it's the fetish that made this a reality, right? Like, how do I word that better?
It's like a growth fetish.
No,
Yeah?
It's kinky sex that makes us focus potentially more on the great sex we're having rather than how the person looks. Is that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think I'm always after someone who is good at sex, because the kind of sex that I enjoy, I mean, you can relate. It's not easy to prepare for. It's not, it's not easy to like set up, break down. It involves a lot. So if I'm going to put myself out there, if I'm going to be in the shower douching for over 3 hours sometimes, I got to know that they're going to fucking
deliver the good
work it out, like they're good at sex. I don't want to do that for nothing,
I always say to people, oh, have you got a type? I'm looking for the kind of guy who, if I shit on his hand, we're going to laugh about it.
Yeah.
That's what
course.
I want. We're going to like, whoops, okay, happens.
Yeah.
Just, it's all chill, it's fine, it's a fun atmosphere.
Yeah.
You're clearly experienced enough in this kink as well, where you understand how this works as well. That's really attractive to me. Not shitting on hand. But, it's just that, like... unless you want to divulge the thing.
I've said enough on previous episodes.
Fine.
But I think that anyone who is exclusively looking for muscle, that's their kink. And that's okay. I think when it starts being not okay is when you're in like a group setting and you start excluding other people, just even from a conversation.
Yeah.
Because all you're worried about is how you're being perceived. So if someone's looking at me, a muscle gay, not talking to another muscle gay, they might think that I'm not as big of a muscle gay. That's crazy. That's insane, and that's not something I abide, and
that's where the muscle gays have got this negative connotation from.
Yeah, and I don't blame people because, I mean, the circuit parties are rampant with that kind of behavior because they're all going to a place where they all generally look the same. There's not a lot of diversity at body diversity, I guess, at circuit parties, and so I think when you just surround yourself with a sort of echo chamber, you start to think that that's all it is I hang out with muscle guys and no one else is allowed, and that's crazy to me. That's not the kind of party I want to be at. That's not the kind of friends that I want, and that's not the kind of sex that I want to have either. So yeah, fuck the muscle gays.
Yeah.
I will say that the muscle gays that I have a very diverse friend group. And I don't seek out other muscle gays because of the way they look, but if I do have a friend who also likes to go to the gym like I do, they're just as, queer and like politically on the level as I am most of the time. So I kind of found that I've also just sort of found my little bubble, and I just would never hang out with anyone that was gonna be rude to someone about the way they look. Like I have to say,
I've followed you for years. you know, you're definitely not up there in the offenders of like, okay, so you don't know any fat people. You know, it's just all their friend group. Oh, look, we went here, we went there. Like, do you know anyone above 3% body fat? Like, yeah. And I've commented and they're like, yeah. I'm like, prove it.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
You know, there's, you know, come on, just give me a bit of diversity.
Yeah.
But so when did you probably take bodybuilding a lot more seriously? Because you did a show, was it last year before?
It was about a year and a half ago
Yeah.
that I did my first bodybuilding show, and it wasn't really something that I was like working up to at that point. When I was about 32, I'm 36 now, is when I like really got a coach, really started getting serious about it. Before then, I mean, I've been like taking the gym seriously since I was like 25. I had maybe a little bit before that. So about 10 years, and I had trainers in the past, and I thought that that would get me to where I needed to go. But at the same time, I was also like partying a lot. I was a complete drug addict in San Francisco, just having a fucking blast, thinking that all I needed to do was go to the gym and I'd get huge, and just was getting really frustrated with the results. And so when I finally moved to the UK 5 years ago, I had all of lockdown to really like look at my life, be like, okay, well, I don't want to continue to do drugs because I know that that is keeping me away from my goals with bodybuilding, with my career, with my art. And I was able to really like step back and regroup, focus, and then get a coach, get really serious, get on my diet. And so it's actually been a pretty new thing for me. But since I've sort of built up the base for a long time, it's come a lot easier, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that transformation was
Impressive. You mean when I got like lean? I got like that was crazy. It was no, like, people didn't recognize me, and like
I was like, I appreciate the work, but I was like,
no, it's crazy. I got messages from people that like would put like a side by side of like my body before and my body for like the competition. It was like, I liked you better here. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I'm doing something. You know, like I'm doing something that isn't for you. It's for me. I've never done any sort of like bodybuilding competition, or I never thought that I'd ever get to that point. So for me, it was kind of like a goal so that I could be on the stage. I knew that if I was going to go on the stage, then I wouldn't allow myself to look a certain way. I had to get that lean, you know, like I really wanted to achieve that goal of stepping onto a stage and really giving it my best shot. And then also for me, it was like, okay, well, if you're going to take this seriously, then do a fucking competition kind of thing. So it wasn't really for anyone else, but I got a lot of messages as if it was. But I will say that the first competition's always the worst. You never really get that crazy look again. So I'm excited for my competition again, which I'm going to do in a year, to not look like the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
A tan Crypt Keeper, but the Crypt Keeper.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because I think you're like me, like naturally quite pale.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they rolled it on. Yeah. It was nuts. Yeah.
So, obviously, we're not, you know, we're not going to talk about bodybuilding without covering PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs. So, what was your journey into that?
Well, I had been doing steroids like on my own just because I had Googled it when I was, you know, in my early 20s and been on like chat rooms, or not chat rooms, but like forums about bodybuilding, and amateur bodybuilders would say their stacks, and I'd be like, oh God, you just gotta do that, you know, I just gotta do that, and then I'll get big. And so I was doing God knows what for, you know, God knows how many milligrams, just like pumping my butt full of steroids that weren't doing anything. Were just giving me a bunch of back knee, and like, so I've been doing steroids wrong for a long time. I do not recommend that. If you are going to do steroids, get a coach so they can monitor you. You also really want to get blood work done frequently. It's a whole thing. But yes, I do steroids. I do performance-enhancing drugs. I do less of it now than I ever did in the past because I have someone monitoring what I'm doing, and it's not the steroids that are going to get you big. Just straight up. Steroids help. Absolutely, they help. But more than anything, it's going in the gym and it's training super hard. It's eating the right shit and it's being really consistent.
God, sounds so boring.
It's a slog. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. And it takes a long time, which is, I don't doubt why people get really discouraged, you know, because you can start seeing good results and then you hit a plateau and it's like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah, I'm finally at the point now where I'm sort of looking into. I mean, I'm 37 now. It's not going to get any easier for me. And I finally had my blood work done, like looking at the testosterone levels. Turns out, like on a first thing in the morning, and what is it? You know, because I think it's like between 8 and 30 is meant to be like a healthy range.
Yeah, yeah.
At least by UK NHS standards. I think mine came out at 10.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, okay, good candidate.
Gotta get on the roids.
Yeah.
Gotta get on that TRT.
But the more I know and the more I talk to people, the more I realize I know a lot, but it's kind of everyone's got a different explanation of how to do it.
It's a really big category.
Yeah, I have a PT. He's very against it. He's very much a power lifter, and he's just very big and chunky. He's just like, well, I've never touched the stuff, you know, but I've just done a lot of powerlifting from a very young age. So he's like, well, I don't think you really need it. But in the same sentence, we'll be like, yeah, but you're 37, so the best years are behind you. I'm like, well, we can't. Which way do you want me to go here?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, is that the right person for me to study on?
Yeah, I think that first off, if this is a life that anyone wants to lead, getting a coach is that changed my life.
Yeah.
You know, I just went to the biggest guy in the gym and with the body that I wanted, and I said, hey, do you do coaching? I would like to, you know, get some coaching.
Yeah.
And he did, and it was great. And it's been amazing. But I don't pretend to know anything. I don't know shit, you know? And the more I do it, the less I know. So I need daddy to help me with my steroids, with my food, with my training. And I just send him little check-in photos of my underwear and, you know, he tells me what to do. And that feeds my, you know, sub side, and it also, you know, gets me to where I need to go.
We were saying the same thing about douching. Like, someone left us a shitty comment, being like, "Well, guys, you've not really covered the topic. You've just kind of, it's just been two people catching up." Like, yes, that's kind of our shtick. But also, like, because the more I know and the amount of fisters I meet across the globe there is, I know nothing.
I'm so happy you said this. I'm so happy you said this because I thought she cracked the code a million times on douching. And every single time it goes wrong. And it's like, everyone's body is different. Yeah. Everyone has a different technique and your bodies change. And depending on what you eat, depending on how much water you've drank, you know, like.
Some of the most prominent fisters on the planet are still using bulb douches exclusively.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just like, I know nothing. I know nothing anymore.
Yeah. And like, I have a very sensitive belly. So douching can be anywhere from like an hour to 4 hours. You know, it can be a traumatizing experience for me. Yeah. It can be like an event.
Well, how is bodybuilding, because obviously you've got the diet, you've got drugs, you know, how has this affected your fisting life?
Oh, yeah, majorly. I mean, depending on like if I'm on a bulk where I'm eating, you know, a ton of calories, 6 meals a day, I have to plan my days so that they're my off days when I shoot or get fisted, because I'll be eating a little bit less and I have more time. Like when I go to the gym, it's like 3 hours of my day that is gone. So that's 3 hours that I could be douching. So I have to like really plan around things. And then if I'm like in the middle of a bulk where I'm eating the most, I don't have the motivation. I feel sluggish. I feel tired, you know, and I'm just like big and it's just like, ugh. So I don't necessarily think that fisting and bodybuilding really go hand in hand. Like I've always just kind of thought this, but you know, we make do.
We look really good while we're doing it, but we got maybe 20 minutes in us.
No, really. It makes things a little more challenging.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's kind of like a trade-off. Like I see these twinks that are That feels like a slur now, doesn't it? Saying 20.
It totally does.
Doesn't it feel like a slur? Why does it feel like a slur?
Because the straights are using the word.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And they mean faggot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see, smaller, skinnier guys who are just like, my hat's off to them. I'm jealous of their holes. It's like the shit that they're doing. I get like envious about the shit that they can do with their butts.
I was at dinner with Pup Davey last night.
That's what I'm
Who
saying.
is, I always, and I've met him several times, and he's been a guest on our podcast, and I always have this image of him, like just being really tall, and I know he's very, very slim, very slender. No, he's like this big. I was like, where is it going?
Where does it go?
His hips are this
Where does it
wide.
go? Where the fuck does it go? Yeah.
Yeah.
But guys like that who probably don't have the same diet as me, probably eating a bit less, probably don't have to power wash their insides to be able to have like a good experience. And I will say that like after, over 3 hours in the shower, I don't even want to get fisted after that. Who would?
Yeah.
Right,
Like it
exactly.
hurts. It fucking hurts. And it's caused me an injury before. So
What was
Yeah.
that
What
injury?
happened?
yeah, so I'm going to be very candid in saying that I can speculate as to what happened, but I don't know for sure. The series of events was I was at my friend's place, who's also a performer here in Berlin, and shout out Troy Daniels, and he has a very German shower setup where it's like if you want to shower, you pull the stopper up and the pressure keeps it going, right? But if it goes below a certain pressure, it turns off. And he was out of the house. And I didn't think that, I could just hold that up and get low pressure to the shower. I was just like, well, I guess it's just going to be really high pressure in my butthole. And so I was essentially, like I said, power washing my fucking insides, thinking it was okay. And like, I've never really had an accident like that before, or I never really have done like that much pressure in my butt before. So I just kind of thought I was invincible. I was like, I'm not, like, that's fine, whatever. And so I was just douching really fucking hard. And so after like 2 hours of that, right, I was really sore, and I was actually bleeding a little bit, and which I've never bled from douching before, And I don't know if other people have, but it didn't raise a lot of alarms because I bled from fisting before, and I was just like, maybe I just went a little too hard, obviously, because it's crazy pressure. So I was pretty sore, and then I was also running late because I was going to meet Fist Buddy to film, who's gonna remain anonymous because I don't want him to feel like he did something, because he didn't. So after that, I went straight to his place and we started going, and I didn't feel anything when it happened, but he just said, "Oh, you're kind of bleeding enough for us to stop." And I was like, okay. So I went to the bathroom and I rinsed out again, and it was like, I pushed out and it was like a lot of like red blood. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I kept kind of cleaning, and it just like wasn't going away. And then also I started to feel like crampy, like really, really crampy, like low in my stomach. And I was like, I just need to sit down for a second. And so he's like, well, maybe you can fist me for a bit. And I was like, yeah, that I'll just, probably some trapped air, probably some trapped water, whatever. I'll just leave it for a second. And so as I was fisting him, it was getting like more and more, and I was kind of like hunching over as I was like, just like, And so finally I had him stop, and I sat down for a bit, and it just reached a point where I was like, something happened.
Yeah.
Like this is serious now. Something's happened. And I just did not want to believe that I had torn my fucking colon. Yeah. So I just kept like waiting for it to go away. I was like, this isn't my life. This isn't happening to me. And it just didn't, to the point where I was like curled over in pain, couldn't stand up straight, just screaming. I could not stop screaming. And luckily there's a hospital just like right around the corner. And so we got a Uber, and we got in. It was like I was in fucking labor, right? I was just like, ah! And we got in, and I got rushed in the back, and they asked me a whole bunch of questions, and God bless him, there was this like queer German boy who like held my hand and, you know, really helped me out. And then it was scary. I mean, they put me under and said that they were like, oh, it's going to be a quick procedure. However, it might not be a quick procedure. And they might have to rip you from belly button down to your bladder. And we might have to, you know, all this stuff. And I was like, and they're like, okay, well, bye, you know, and it was horrifying.
Right.
It was completely horrifying. And most people didn't speak English. I had to have like an interpreter. But when I woke up, they had just done like keyhole surgery. So they just made a couple holes and then did it through there, which like I got really lucky. I got really, really lucky. And
So this is here in Berlin.
This is in Berlin, yeah.
So there wasn't any paycheck, you know, a bill at the end of it.
There was like the whole billing thing at the end.
Okay.
They're like still chasing me for some reason, even though we've like paid, my insurance has like paid them. But like my experience in a German hospital was bad. It was bad. It was not good. And I don't know if it was the hospital that I was in or whatever. It was not a good experience. But
I've never known an experience in a German hospital to be pleasant.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So there was one woman who had a gay son, and she was lovely, but she barely spoke English. She barely spoke English, and I was just like, mommy, you know, like help me. But she like couldn't really, because, you know, she couldn't really like translate for me or anything. But
did you have a few days then to recover in a hospital?
yeah, so I was there for about 5 days.
Yeah.
And then thank God you live in the UK, where, you know, free healthcare. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is the thing. I mean, my God, we've covered, you know, injuries and things. And I just think, like, you know, really think when you live in a country, you have to literally pay for your mistakes. Like, I mean, stuff will happen, but like, really think about this. Cause
the US is fucked up for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So if this would have happened in the US, I would probably still be in debt to them.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah. Or I know that I would still be in debt to them.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I'm very, very lucky in every aspect of it, but it definitely scared me enough to really take a step back and like listen to my body. And and now like this morning I was douching and I was like holding up the thing, just like, it's not gonna happen again, you know?
that little pin, it feels so dangerous.
Yeah, right.
Like this all or nothing pin.
Yeah, I know.
I've tried to find pegs that are at the right size.
Just stick it under like a little block. Yeah.
What was at that hotel in Liverpool we were doing, and it was just off or power wash.
It
was
it's
so
awful.
like, and you figured out like
And
if you just slightly push the button, like just
Halfway
hover
down,
over it, you'll get half pressure. I'm like, this could fucking kill us.
Well, I have a douche nozzle now that has a pressure valve on it.
Yeah.
So
This episode is sponsored by our friends at Fuck Yeah Machines. The FY500 is a beast of a machine, designed and made in the UK especially for big toy players.
This is the strongest machine on the market, handling the biggest toys you can imagine.
Featuring a huge stroke length of 1 inches to 18 inches, great for those who like it deep but also flexible.
It's completely adjustable on the fly when in use thanks to the Fuck Yeah app. This offers remote control from any smartphone, tablet or laptop. You can also download new patterns from the Fuck Yeah community and share your designs.
Super solid heavyweight construction, no moving around when in use, and includes suction cup feet to really anchor it down to smooth floors.
It's got a powerful digital motor for precise and customizable control. It doesn't just go back and forth. There's unlimited possibilities to make your toys move however you want with custom patterns in the app.
It even has ports for accessories like lube pumps and aroma vaporizers, which you can control with the app and sync up to the machine movement.
There are accessories available for mounting practically any type of toy, either using the Vaculock adapter or the strap-on mounting rings. And for really, really huge toys, there's the XL mounting plate, which supports toys with a base all the way up to 28 inches around.
Fuck Yeah Machines offers second to none support and with a 5-year warranty for complete peace of mind.
To find out more info and current availability, check it out on the website at fuckyeah.uk and use the code SUCHFUN to get a discount when you order.
This episode is brought to you by Kink 3D.
In a world full of fetishes, chastity has rocketed in popularity. In fact, chastity has even been named Fetish of the Year 2025. Sorry about that, Fisters. And there's one company at the centre of the chastity world, Kink 3D.
The brand behind the Cobra, the distinctive black cages that look like sleek, sexy armor for the cock. Kink 3D changed the game by making it possible for just about anyone to get locked up safely and comfortably without needing to order a custom device.
Kink 3D's philosophy is to make locking up easy, so you can put on your cage and just live your life. The cages are made with advanced 3D printing technology, so they're ultra lightweight and strong enough for work, sports, travel, playtime, and much more.
Plus, they've got a whole new cage line, the Kink 3D Viper, with a form-fitting new shape and enhanced sensory denial. With 20 unique sizes for Cobra and 20 more for Viper, it doesn't matter if you're big or small, just about everyone can find a size that will fit just right.
If you're not sure of your size, Kink 3D support team is renowned for their personalized assistance, available through kink3d.com. You can also check out their site for a growing list of stores in North America, Europe, the UK, and Australia, where you can try on their cages in person to find your perfect fit.
For Such Fun listeners, Kink 3D is offering a free Nether Nudger accessory in classic black or new Arctic white color when you order a full chastity kit on their site. This is a Kink 3D original creation that will help you stay comfortably lined up in your cage throughout the day.
Just go to kink3d.com/fun. That's KINK, number 3, letter D.com/FFUN. So check out Kink 3D and see for yourself why their cages are worn by so many of the most dedicated chastity fans around the world.
This episode is sponsored by Studfist, and today we are watching Knucklebone with Angel Diaz and his gorgeous giant prolapse, and the one and only Mary Fist.
Who's also gorgeous and giant.
I was in the room for part of this, actually. But I'm watching this for the first time. It looks like they have quite a bit of chemistry. And look at that butt. Oh my god. Oh, I like the banter too.
More talking and fisting porn.
I'm for more talking and fisting porn, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, it's out. It's pink. It's
I don't know. It's a very deep shade of red, I'd say. Great. Okay. I'm now seeing dick in prolapse.
I'm seeing hand going through prolapse.
There's lots of lovely chemistry.
Yeah, I just like the laughing and the banter and the talking, and just that's what I like in my fisting. And of course the prolapse, my all-time favorite thing.
Okay,
I think that's the appeal for me.
That was Knucklebone featuring Angel Diaz and a Merry Fist. Go check it out, studfist.com.
We love Top Toys for so many reasons, and here are some of them. They are designed, made, and tested by people who use toys. Function and pleasure are front and center.
They ship quickly around the world from Canada and also have a distribution center in Europe.
They've got a vast array of sizes to fit any hole, from the beginner butt to the bottomless pit, and are great for training your hole up inch by inch.
They are certified for body contact, made of platinum cured silicone, and are easy to clean and dishwasher safe.
So the Zephyr by Top Toys is becoming one of my favorite dildos of all time, because it is deep and it is wide, and if there's anything I love with a dildo, it's combining depth and width. I've got the Zephyr 110, and I swear it's given me holy feelings better than anything else in my depths. And recently, I also got my hands on a smaller Zephyr, the 85. Smaller not being small, of course. And the reason I want to tell a story about this is because I tried it on my husband, who is not a fister, and he became obsessed with it. It's just wide enough for him to get in, and he just got this massive hunger for it. And the first time we played with it, he got half of it in, and then I left him to it another time, and he ended up taking the whole thing. So there you go. A budding little not fist bottom, obsessed with the Zephyr 85. I highly recommend this one. Go to toptoys.com, get yourself a Zephyr. Just while we're on the topic of injury, I just remembered something that I'm doing at the moment in association with my blog is telling everybody about Rex Wild, because he's been in for like 5 or 6 surgeries. One was very recent. He's in Florida and he's fucking struggling because he doesn't have his insurance is not covering all the hospital bills. He's got a GoFundMe, so if you want to donate, which I highly recommend, because he's a lovely guy and he's
made some iconic content as well.
Exactly.
So, hey, if you're ever whacked off to it, you throw him some dollars,
It can happen to anyone, and it has happened to a lot of us. It's like I was always the person who was like, oh, they got an injury. Like they were obviously doing something crazy.
Yeah.
I was douching. So,
And we're all crazy shit people.
Yeah, but also it definitely showed me another side to performers, and I don't think it was any of like the fisting or kink community that really showed themselves, but a lot of other performers in the industry had a lot to say about me getting an injury. like very negative things, very like that's
a
what
real
you get
what you
kind
get,
of
yeah.
thing. And
There's
it
a real
was very-
stigma around it.
Yeah,
You know, Hunger FF, I was a friend of mine, he had
Also
another
douching
douching injury.
Yeah.
And, the people that slid into my DMs, like, wow, girl, what really happened? I'm like, what you...
Yeah.
Like, I haven't got any more information.
yeah.
It's like, but I love that your first thought is like, oh no, come on. Like, come on. What really went on? You know, how deep was he fucking getting punched? You know,
I mean,
like,
it kind of your internalized isms kind of come out, don't they? Because it's like, okay, so what you're really saying is people who are into kink are, you know, fucked up, or they deserve that in some way, you know, and it, you know, it's something to look at for sure within the community.
At the same time, like when I think about like questions I want to ask, I think that deep down for me, it's I want to know why it happens so that I can avoid it happening to myself. I think that's ultimately what we're all looking for. Right?
Well, I think that it's, you know, it feels like my job to tell people, and a lot of people just didn't believe me, and probably still don't believe me. I don't know what to tell you. I douche too hard.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like the amount of water and pressure that was in my gut could not sustain, and it just ripped, you know, and that's something that is a very real possibility for people.
It's like taking a pressure hose, like at the gas station.
Yeah.
Your wheels. I don't know what you do. And having that.
It sounds so stupid saying out loud because it's like obviously, but it just didn't. You know, I've been doing this forever, and it's never happened before, and it's never really been something that I've heard of happening, and so I just was like, yeah, I'm good.
Shifting the topic,
Yep.
you started a clothing brand not long after lockdown.
Yep.
How the hell did that come about?
Well, it actually came about during lockdown. So it didn't have a name at that point. I was just selling T-shirts. Me and my husband Lee, or Johnny Walker is his performer name. We were kind of looking for passive income and also a way to pass the time. So I made shirts that were in like heavy metal font that said like "Friend of Dorothy," which means gay, or you know.
Yeah.
It was like a code name in the military. Dorothy obviously being blanking on her name. Who played Dorothy?
from The Wizard of
Judy
Garland.
Judy Garland. Yeah. So if you're a friend of Dorothy, that means you're a friend of Julie Garland.
Yeah.
Faggot. So we just started kind of selling these shirts, and we did pre-sale, and they sold out really fast, and we're like, oh, cool, that was a thing that we did, you know. And then
you're like a walking storefront as well, like, 'cause it's very much your aesthetic.
Yeah, absolutely. And so lockdown ended, and we just kind of abandoned it, and Lee's a photographer, and I'm a tattoo artist, and my background's in like illustration and stuff, and so we just kind of went back to our jobs, but then we kind of hit a cost of living crisis, and so no one was paying for tattoos, and no one was paying for photography, so we were kind of like, okay, now what? Let's regroup. Do you want to try this clothing thing out again? And so we made a couple more shirt designs, and those went really well, and we're like, okay, well, maybe we have something. And so at that point, we had found someone who wanted to invest a bit in it as well, and Lee's cousin, who was like looking for a gay brand to invest in, and we're like, oh, well, we're actually making
We're gay.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have a brand.
Yeah, exactly. So it just like worked out. So he helped us out a bit, and we started like a whole line of T-shirts, because that's what we were selling before, and they had like really amazing designs. We sourced incredible shirts, kind of like these great fits. We went through tons and tons of samples. We went through different printing places. It was all printed in the UK, and it was like top notch, just super cool. We did a full photo shoot, paid a bunch of models, got our website together, and when we dropped, it was tumbleweeds, just nothing, you know. And we had like spent some money from Lee's cousin, a couple grand, and so we're like, cool. So now we're in the hole, and we don't have a brand, and so we're like, okay, well, let's try something else, and if it doesn't work, then we'll just abandon it. And so we wanted to try making thongs. So I made that like black and yellow crazy pattern, and we did like a tie-dye one as well, and we had some guy that Lee had known who works in like a factory sewing make some thongs for us. and they sold out instantly. And so we reinvested that money to make more thongs, and those sold out. And then at that point, the guy in London was struggling to keep up with it, and we had a manufacturer in Pakistan actually reach out to us saying, do you guys need anything? And we're like, actually, we do. So we just kept reinvesting, and then all of a sudden we had a thong brand, you know? And so people were much more interested in in the sexy stuff than the t-shirts.
Never underestimate the gays in underwear.
You know.
I used to work at Prowler in London, and I was just like, who's paying like $50 for one pair of fucking knickers? And it was just like, people were like, yeah, that one. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What? You're not even seeing it most of the time. I don't know. I think it's some weird retro hangover of like a bygone era or something. They're just...
Some childhood trauma, probably.
Probably. It's a typical thing. I'll put it on, I'll look like the model. And it's like, well... And you've picked some very interesting models.
Talk about like muscle for muscle. I know. I'm not
This
helping
is
the
where
case right
you
now.
are
I am
slightly
not
part of the
beating
problem.
the accusations. So our whole thing is we would love to use very diverse models, right? Like we have used very diverse models in the past, and that was kind of what we had based our brand off of initially. And it didn't work. It just didn't work. It didn't get eyes on it. People didn't respond. And I know that that's like a problem, obviously. And it's, you know, there should be more diversity within models and within representation. And especially being like a owner, I want to have people being, you know, viewing my clothes on bodies like theirs, right?
Yeah.
But it's an advertisement, you know? It's an advertisement, and hot boys get the views. And
There's a reason it works.
we make sure that our clothes, we know they're gonna look good on hot guys. They just are. But we test our clothes on like everyone. We send them to our friends. We send them to people who might be plus size. You know, we make sure that these things fit and look good on a wide variety of people, so that when we do put it out there, they can feel just as sexy as what they're seeing on the screen, right? And then we also will repost anyone who takes pictures in it. We always ask people to take pictures in it. We want people, we've even put a review section on our stores for people to put their photos of themselves in the thing, so that when people are checking out, they can see what, like, more representation of themselves, what they might look like in the clothes. And it's helped a lot. But if we're just talking meta ads for clicks, it's going to be the IFBB Pro bodybuilder. You know, of course.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta catch the eye.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds us, like, you know, obviously I did the illustration work for X-Loop, which obviously a part of that family. You know, and, you know, we get the feedback a lot. It's like, well, it's a lot of white muscle guys. And it's like, yeah, believe me, we are always having that conversation of like, who, you know, because the only requirement is like, you need to be using this lube and talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't care what your follower count is. I don't care what you look like, your ethnicity, obviously, gender representation. Do not care. And I think we've done very well in, you know, we've had trans men, trans women, gender non-conforming, black, Asian, but the majority of sluts on the internet posting their sloppy hole is white guys with nice bodies.
I will also say that it's less diverse in the UK as well.
Yeah.
I think there's more opportunity to find a bigger diversity of different body types and different people, but like within, you're kind of like getting nicher and it just ends up being like a smaller pool, and then it's hard to get the representation you want from such a small pool, because I know that there are like really, really sexy plus size guys, or really, really sexy black men, or, you know, Latinos, trans men, all of these different things. But then you also have to say like, okay, you have to be comfortable doing this as well, or you have to be able to show this as well. And it just filters a ton of fucking people out, and it can be really hard. But we are constantly trying to show as much representation as possible while still keeping an air of like yes, it might feel exclusive, but you're invited to the party. You know?
Yeah, yeah. And Lord knows you're not the first and you won't be the last gay brand to, you know, profit off of someone's six pack.
But we do also want it to feel like big, dumb muscle sluts. Like, that's our brand, big, dumb muscle sluts. But as if you have access, you know, like we want to almost make it feel like you're invited. Like you're in on this fun with us.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why, you know, Eddie, who we work with, the big IFBB pro, he is the nicest fucking guy you'll ever meet in your entire life.
I obviously saw you guys at the Folsom Street Fair, and every conversation I get over here was like, okay, so obviously everyone's like, how do I look like you? It's like, okay, we want to do 2 of these in the morning for this, and then right before your workout. It's like nothing to do with your brow. I'm sure he was doing his job, but he was just like, right, I'll write it down for you. I'll do, do all of this. Final question.
What advice do you have for fisters in 2025?
No one is going to train you. You have to put in the work.
I agree completely.
It's not anyone else's job to train you. If everyone's body's different, some people can just get fisted, you know? Yeah. Some people are just made to, like, my first time fisting, I was 23. And the fist just went in. The fist just went in my butt. And I was like, that's a crazy feeling. I love that, you know? But a lot of people do not have that journey. And a lot of people have, like, different biology, tighter holes, smaller pelvic cavity. If you are one of those people, you have to train.
Yeah.
You know, you got to put in that work.
How did you put it one time? Like people are for playing, toys are for training.
Sure.
Yeah, I just, like, you know, I mean, you always get these messages on the app, so will you train me? I'm like, I'm not training anyone. But, like, no one trained me.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly.
I had to do the work, and it was just, you know, and there was certain like repeat players, and they were going, oh, okay, this is coming along, you know, but it wasn't like, right, you know, we're going to have our training session.
And there's the added benefit that if you're training yourself, you're getting to know your body better.
Yeah.
100%.
So, like, you put together puzzle pieces, and then it's like, Bob's your aunt. What more do you need?
100%. And it's if you're training yourself, you don't have to be that guy who's like, well, I would have a bigger hole, but no one's training me. Why are no training me? It's just like you gotta want it. I don't know.
Yeah.
You gotta really want it.
Just like man up.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, for me, the biggest thing was, like, I was for a good 2 years. I was in that category of, like, I'll take any dick. Like, I give me the biggest dick, it's going in. But, like, a fist, I'm like, oh, how's that gonna? It's like, oh. You know, I was in that, and I knew it was all here.
Yeah.
And I can't teach that. You just, you know, it was funny when I was with someone, I was like, oh, I really like you, I trust you, I could just let it go. You're not gonna hurt me. Like, I can't teach you that.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
It just takes time.
It took me years to do that. As soon as I got that, I was just like, oh, it's not this, it's this.
It's a mental thing. I think that people don't understand how much of a mental thing fisting is.
Yeah.
Which is also where the drugs come in, but that's a different topic.
That's another topic. Yes. Teddy, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. I had a blast.
I mean, I love everything you've been getting up to. I love your artwork. I really want to. Are you still tattooing?
Yeah, I still tattoo.
Okay.
It's not. I'm not like sitting in a shop waiting for customers, but I tattoo friends and clients and, you know, people who want it.
Yeah, I've got the bug now.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I started with her, and I was just.
Oh, I love that.
I should really shape her face though.
Oh yeah.
She's getting a bit hairy.
A little hairy,
A little hairy arms.
That's great.
There we go. Yeah, I was like, as soon as when the first 2 minutes, like, oh, like, why did I do this? I hate pain. And then I was like, oh, I get it.
You kind of
the rush kicks in, and you're like, oh, okay. Because obviously, like, the filling in, that was obviously blown my tent. So I was like, and then I spoke to one of the doctors I work with. And they were like, oh, yeah, it's exactly the same. What's chemically going on in the brain, it's the same as self-harm.
Yeah. It's adrenaline. And
Yeah.
all that,
They're like, why would you do that? I was like, it feels kind of good after a while. That's why.
There must be something in fisting that's
If you say
Well,
that fisting
self-harming.
isn't a form of self-harm, then you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
putting a
like,
fist up your butt. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's really sore. Do you want me to stop? Like,
Yeah.
No. Terry, Bryce, thank you. Thank you for having
I hope
such fun with us.
I represented the muscle gaze well.
Well, get a pass.
Perfect.
We'll see
That's
what
all I
kind of
need.
nasty comments we get.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
All right.
See the comments.
Yeah. Happy fisting.
Fisting.
And just the holes there. It does feel like finding your tribe.
You put husband hole.